Park4Night can really be a bit of crap at times. I'm sure that park up would be perfectly fine on a normal day. Now you get a penalty notice, don't you, for not
parking in the bay.
She's taken a long time at that ticket machine. Took a risk and went to the second machine, and it looks like he's come unstuck.
It took about half an hour to queue for a ticket. This is the Three Graces by Raphael. Feels like a mile from the castle. It's not, we can come round to this one.
Route to here. No, it's working again now, that's good. Nice and quiet up here, wasn't it?
Yeah, beautiful.
Compared to the place we had to flee last night because of those kids.
Full of rowdy kids running around.
I'm sure that park up would be perfectly fine on a normal day, because that group of kids were definitely from that event that was going on behind us.
That was only a temporary event, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they were just going out and going round the block and back into the event, and unfortunately it took them past us.
But there was also a pond of frogs right by where we were, so goodness knows what that would have sounded like at dusk.
Clear your way?
Yeah. We've got to stop as well, so it's quite safe.
Now then, look, we've got a pile of logs here and not a single sign telling kids not to climb on them, because they're not obsessed with health and safety over here like we are. Good to see, I think.
Being very wary of deer now, aren't you?
Yeah, after that one ran out yesterday.
Incident yesterday.
Stop. Cyclist.
He didn't stop.
No, that's him, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm saying the cyclist didn't stop.
No, well, cyclists don't. I have to pay to park here. This was the first time we'd had total confusion over how we're meant to park.
Well, are you? I don't know. Some are on them, some are in between them.
I would say, I'm gonna.
This red car next to us is in between the bricks. And
I mean, if you go in between the bricks, it's more of a traditional spacing. Yeah. So I think we should be in between the bricks. Now you get a penalty notice, don't you, for not
parking in the bay.
Not parking in the bay. But I've never seen bays. That's somebody walking behind me now. We're beginning to lose the will to live at this point. Hopefully we haven't killed you watching it. She's taking a long time at that ticket machine. Did you have trouble?
Even in English.
What?
Well, I got the English translation. You put your registration number in and then it says you're entitled to 1 free hour.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, okay, I want an hour. And then there was nowhere to say if you want to do more than an hour. So I thought, oh, maybe you have to get another ticket. So I pressed OK. So it's given me 1 hour for free.
Yeah.
So then I went in again, put in my registration number, and then it says, oh, your free time's expired. Quit.
Sorry, but I couldn't take it anymore. It looks like it's going to be one of those days. Daisy May's gone back for a coat. It is a little bit chilly. So the plan is to have a walk around the shops and hopefully get some breakfast.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. We've got Chinese dim sum here. They all look lovely, don't they?
Not my type of thing.
No, not your type of thing.
Big fan of
certainly
dim
my
sum.
type of thing.
Yeah.
God, look at those prawns there.
They're massive, aren't they?
Massive.
Langoustine.
Yeah. We had a couple of them in a roll, couldn't we?
Well, I've got prawns and wraps for your lunch.
But they're not as big as them.
There's a lot of shoe shops here, aren't there?
Yep.
It must be famous for its shoes.
Fromagerie. Some lovely cheese. The dilemma with French cheese is we never know what to buy. Not having the confidence, we walk on.
Chocolat.
We don't seem to have the same problem with chocolate though. We can scoff any of that. Definitely quieter down here, isn't it?
Yeah. This is the main street, isn't it?
No idea. We're actually walking the wrong way. There's an English shop here, but it doesn't appear to be open. There's absolutely loads of fun fairs, aren't there?
Yeah, it's that time of year now, isn't it?
Lovely little Airstream food fan there. This area is an open park and it's actually part of the racecourse and the chateau grounds that we'll see later. What I like is they've got such a wide variety of building styles here.
There's a creperie here.
Sadly, there were very few options for breakfast, and we ended up buying a few things from a patisserie. People cutting across the centre of the roundabout.
Yeah.
You can't see it, but the roads to my right and dead ahead are absolutely chocked with traffic. And people were just cutting across the centre of the roundabout in order to go left where we need to go. People were starting to get angry, so I just took the decision to follow what everyone else was doing. And surprisingly, nobody had a problem with that at all.
Do it the French way.
French way. We didn't know it yet, but the next problem we faced was getting into the car park. The busiest place we've been to.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, definitely, by far.
I hope there's spaces. But it's not, because you've got to take a ticket on entry.
Okay.
Something seems to be wrong with the ticket barriers.
Otherwise it's going to be total mayhem.
Yeah. Took a risk and went to the second machine and it looks like he's come unstuck. The lady in black is working the machine and the lady on the left is trying to get it fixed.
Bonjour. Bonjour.
And this is the point where we found the computer says no.
Est-ce que vous avez une visa, messieurs, dames? Do you have a visa?
Can we pay with Apple Pay?
Cash?
No, only by card.
Cash?
No cash.
Have you got your card back? Yeah. I was more concerned to get that card back off them.
This?
Luckily for us, the Visa card seemed to do the job.
C'est bon, ça passe.
Ah, bon, merci.
I give you the receipt.
Oui.
Okay.
Et voici pour vous.
Merci. Phew, we made it.
We haven't parked yet.
No, but we've got in. So it only takes Visa, not MasterCard. That's what the problem was.
Finding an actual parking place proved to be a little bit manic, which surprised me because when I put the drone up a little bit later, there was loads of space down the end. What they needed was some signs directing people further into the car park where there was plenty of space available. Anyway, we got a spot and that's the main thing. This place is utter mayhem. So Carol's gone off to have a look around the chateau and I'm going to stay here and relax and do a bit of editing, I think.
Absolute gridlock coming into the car park now. Streams of cars and it's full, so I don't know where they're all going to go. It looks like they're queuing up. Maybe they're opening up another one down here. We're in. It took about half an hour to queue for a ticket and my credit card didn't work again in there. I had to use a different one. But here we are in the grounds. The original mansion was built in 1528 for the Montmorency family but was destroyed in the French Revolution. It was modestly repaired, but eventually confiscated from the Orleans family by Coutts, an English bank, in 1853. It was entirely rebuilt in 1875 by Henri d'Orléans, but later bequeathed to the Institut de France as a price for his return from political exile. These are busts of the greatest war generals of the 17th century. This is the music room. The art gallery of Chantilly is one of the largest in France. You can tell it's Chantilly porcelain because it has a hunting horn on it. This is the Three Graces by Raphael. It may be the smallest painting in Chantilly, but is certainly one of the most precious. The chateau's chapel was built in 1882 and is dedicated to St. Louis. The Château and Grand Stables appeared in the 1985 James Bond film A View to a Kill. The Great Stables were built in 1719 on the orders of the Prince of Condé, who believed that he would be reincarnated as a horse. Not a bad view for lunch, sitting in the garden of the chateau. And lots of more hens. So this is the English garden, which is mainly fields, meadow fields, and there's a pretty canal and a lake. This bridge is a bit scary, the holes are a bit big. So next stop we're going up to these stables up there. You have to walk, feels like a mile from the castle, and I don't know if they provide any transport for people that have difficulty walking. It's quite a trek. So this is the show that's running at the moment called Totem Horse Show. We're just going to go into the Musée de Cheval, which is included in your one-day entry ticket. The Great Stables are 186 metres long and can house 240 horses and up to 500 hounds. Shetland. Hello. Hello. Hi. It's not for you yet.
C'est chaud un peu.
So, have you had a nice time?
I have. I'm glad I did it. It's quite exhausting, so I had to queue for half an hour to get a ticket.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the bloody dust again.
Dust. And then whether it was the time of day I went, because it was about 12:30 when I went in, and I went in the chateau first, and it was just
manic.
packed. And they'd run out of audio guides.
Oh.
So that's how busy it was.
Yeah.
Although really, I was glad I didn't get one in the end, because you didn't want to hang around too long. And the chateau, yeah, it was nice, but not as good as the one I was in yesterday, I didn't think.
Oh, really?
It was all sort of, it's mainly like a museum laid out with a lot of artwork and stuff.
Yeah.
So there was no bedrooms or anything to see.
Oh, right.
And like rooms decorated with all the furniture. And the gardens were a bit disappointing because there's no flowers.
No, it's too early, isn't it?
Well, I couldn't see where flowers would be. It's just laid out with lawns and ponds with fountains. It's not like your usual National Trust, lots of flowers.
How much was it to get in?
So it was €17 for the chateau, the garden and the stables.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad she enjoyed herself. It's not really my cup of tea walking around like that, and I'll be glad to get out of here because of all this dust. Policeman's on the
roundabout.
On the roundabout. The chaos was, and now everyone's behaving themselves. Somebody famous is visiting the hotel here, so we enjoyed driving through all the fans and waving at them.
There's a television camera up there as well.
Okay, I'm going right here. Right, the next thing we need is a nice little park up where we can spend the night and cook our dinner. At first we tried at these fishing lakes, but there were so many fishermen around that we didn't really fancy it. Plus also we were a little bit worried about being locked in. Park4Night can really be a bit of crap at times. It has a real penchant for taking you to the completely wrong geolocation. So if you're using it to navigate to a park up, do check whether it's actually taking you anywhere near where you expect that park up to be, because it's now taken us directly into the centre of Beauvais. It's not the first time it's happened, and it won't be the last, but I have to say I was really miffed with that. The park up was absolutely nowhere near the centre of town. Anyway, we finally found where we were looking for, and we're going to get settled in for the night. Little bit of passing traffic at this one. Hopefully that will quieten down as it gets later. Spaghetti bolognese, one of my favourites. Looks tasty. We're having it with linguine though, because we don't have any spaghetti. I think this is one of the best comfort foods that you can have. That's good. Yummy, thank you very much. I really needed this after the faff with Park4Night. It's been quite a busy day today. Well, that's all for this one, and we hope you enjoyed the video. The best thing you can do to support us is to hit that subscribe button and give us a like, which will make YouTube recommend us to more people. To help you to do that, I'm going to let this drone footage roll so that you've got time to find the buttons. Thanks for watching. Join us next time for more adventures from the Little Red Camper.